contractor and the subcontractor. The question that arises is whether 4A applies at all. Now 4A doesn't apply at all because it's a splitting up so as to avoid the liability. That does not arise as far as the regular case is concerned. Now B is for subcontractor and real problems start with C. 407, 406, 408, 409. Now if you see the words used in C, the words used are has actually been paid. If the principal shows to the satisfaction of the commissioner that tax has actually been paid by the agent on the turnover of sales, the principal shall not be liable provided 407 is given. Now, therefore, the factum of tax being paid has to be proved by virtue of 407. Now, can that analogy be applied to our set of problems? According to me, no, because when the law says that 407 is the prescribed form given by the subcontractor, then there should be no problem as far as the tax paid is concerned. Now 406 is when the agent shows that the main has paid the tax. Here again is payment of tax. Now the main, what troubles me is this: 408 and 409 speak of reduction of turnover of sales, not the amount of tax paid. Now, can the dealer or can the department insist for the corresponding 407 for 409 or other way around? Can it be that the 409 is okay, but then you have to prove that tax has been paid? Whether that insistence of 407 is correct, according to me, no. Because when the certificate is given, that is enough for proof for the tax paid, and that when the turnover of sales, there are two things. One is tax deduction and another is turnover deduction. This has nothing to do, therefore there is no problem of duplicating, asking for it. Then TDS. One thing as far as TDS is concerned, which nobody has pointed out, is that the TDS amount under the proviso speaks 31(1). I am referring to proviso to 31(1), which says that the TDS amount cannot exceed the quantum of tax payable towards such works contract. Now therefore, how do the person who is to deduct the tax from source, tax at source, determine what will be the liability of the person who is executing the work? There is no machinery as such. It's only you have to rely on the contractor that this will be my liability, and on that basis only. As of today, there is no machinery as far as the getting the information that let me know what is your total contract, total liability. So this is what I wanted to comment upon. Then service tax, VAT on service tax. Friends, only one thing we should bear in mind is service tax is on service portion of the contract. Right? Now, when the service portion is taxed under the service tax, it is outside the entry 54 itself. Entry 54 speaks of sale or purchase. purchase of goods, including the transfer of property and goods involved in execution of such contract. Okay. But that also is restricted to the value of the goods on which the deemed sale is prepared. I mean, constitutionally, fiction is created. To that extent, you can levy tax. Therefore, by no stretch of imagination, the DDQ is absolutely wrong that the service tax will be forming part of the sale price. It is absurd. Because by that, you are levying tax on tax, which you have no power to levy tax on tax. Therefore, in any way, that's incorrect DDQ, does not require to be even followed. Then, I think some of the, pardon? Baba, I am not here to refer any judgment. As I said, we have to go by the law as it stands today. Let us not go by the judgment, because judgment is going to be challenged. That is a wrong judgment, if it is there. And that's why I don't refer to the judgments.
So the issue that if it is inclusive of taxes, say the composition and the amount is inclusive of all taxes, then whether the tax will be...
No, all taxes, then of course, the question again is, what is the part of the contract on which service tax is levied? You will have to bifurcate.
That can be identified by a
You will have to bifurcate. Now, to that extent, once the service tax is levied, basically, you are outside the purview of VAT, and therefore the question doesn't arise. They cannot, even by assumption, what they cannot do directly, they cannot do it indirectly. Yeah, I think it is 6:15. Thank you very much. If the time was there, I would have taken up all one by one. But then another aspect of the matter, that queries are also in my head. So I conclude by saying thank you very much, and all the people who have interacted. I mean, this is very good session. It could have been a longer session. According to me, time for good discussion, as I said, is absolutely too short. And this should have been at least 4 to 5 hours for this session. Then it would have been really a charm. Churning would have been done properly. Thank you very much.
Dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, and my dear friends, it is indeed a pleasure to offer a very well deserving vote of thanks to both the paper writer as well as the chairman. The reason being, the paper writer Pranav, a very near and dear friend of mine, because we have almost started the career together and we have also entered into this August association together. As regards the chairman of the today's session, Mr. P.C. Joshi, I recollect that when I had returned my maiden paper on the applicability of service tax and VAT on the filters, at that time he was my chairman and he has guided me like anything, and because of that only I was able to say something on the VAT perspective. It is said that whenever an experienced and youth meets, at that time some miracles and wonders happens, and this is exactly which has been happened right now, which we have seen right from the 3 o'clock to at 6:15 p.m. The miracle has happened. How? The chairman has given out of his vast experience all the and ponder on the views which he has on all the issues which has been raised by the paper writer Pranav. As from the Pranav's perspective, as the chairman has said that he has put in his heart and blood while writing the paper. On the paper side, he has written 44 pages out of total pages of 112 pages. So we can say say that approximately 40 to 42% of the pages belongs to the paper writer. He has issued 40 and odd queries, issues which is emerging out of the paper, and he has completed his presentation task within the 45 minutes which has been allotted to him. So I think he is very much fond of 40s. I think probably he is now entering into the 40s, so he thought 40 is the best thing. 40 is not here, exactly. Pranav, you made all of us alive also after the lunch session on the so-called, I will say, the worst transaction. Instead of the worst contract, I will say the worst transaction paper, which is otherwise more dry and controversial. What is that? I feel that though this association officially cannot give any doctorate degree for the paper writer, but I think we can definitely honor Mr. Pranav Kapadia with a loud round of applause for the effort which he has taken. Joshi sir, on behalf of the association, thank you very much that you are always present to chair the session and always gives us the views on the thing, and therefore I request all the members to carry it also with the loud applause. And lastly, to all the group leaders and monitors, and especially a gentleman from the Aurangabad, he has very spontaneously taken the lead of group leader, so for actively participating, I thank you all of you.
Now princess presentation will be there, so please don't leave the hall. Please be seated.
Starting brain trust session. Before that, I have to perform one task. On behalf of STP Association, we present memento to the Nikita Patel as a mark of respect. Thank you. I now hand over charge to Joshi sir. Thank you.
This is the third inning for me today. Brain trust. I tell you the history of brain trust. In All India Federation of Tax Practitioners at Hyderabad, we started with the brain trust only, and Patkar and then Thakur. This will go on to each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nikita to 1 and 2.
Thank you, sir. We will try to keep it short. Now, the first question is periodicity of filing VAT return for a works contractor who is also doing a normal, is a normal dealer, he may be manufacturer, retailer, etc. So, whether he has filed 231 as well as 233. I don't know where does he get that he has filed two returns. In the initial stage, yeah, what is possible is suppose in the beginning I am doing trading and I start doing works contract, then I can do both. Now the question is when you have to file the annual return after the 704, which return you would file? Then the answer would be 233 because it is a normal dealer as well as the works contract. The second question is, as per provisions of MVAT law, land cost deduction was not available under works contract composition scheme. Dealers VAT audit for the period 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is pending. Whether after the pronouncement of L&T Supreme Court judgment, as the auditor should allow deduction of land cost under the works contract composition scheme. This is really an important question because it is coming into picture after two Supreme Court judgments. One is Lajabel, the other one is the latest one, where they have said if they file revised return, the authorities would consider. But the real question is 42(3) allows deduction only about the subcontractors. Now here whether the land cost should be deducted or not, I refer to the Lajabel judgment of the Supreme Court. Let me point out para 111 of the Supreme Court judgment says there is nothing wrong if the transaction is treated as composite contract comprising of works contract and transfer of immovable property, that is the land. So in my opinion, or it may be ours, we discussed that, the land cost should be deducted because Supreme Court itself has said that this should be allowed. It's going to be little debatable, let me point out, unless the commissioner in fair view come out of the circular. Otherwise it is going to create litigation, but the larger bench view prevails. Thank you.
I would supplement, see the tax on land cannot be in any case sustained by levy of tax by the state legislature. And therefore, always, whether the scheme is there or not, land cost has got to be deducted.
Yeah. Question number 3. Now see, I don't know who has drafted this bill, but they are running into pages. Whereby now so we'll tell you the summary. Now see, question number 3. Now this is a company which does research and they take out they have developed they have done the research and for evaluating the customer they have created certain licenses which they are saying they are great. However, the entire thing is a service. There is no sale element in that. And even if the franchise is given, again it's a license. There is no transfer of franchise. Therefore, it is entirely a service, no sale element, and VAT is not attracted on it. This is what the answer is.
There can't be any VAT implication.
No. They are not selling the license. And see the...
No, not.
No, what he wished to say, that franchise they are saying they have transferred the franchise. That is what he is trying to point out. Yoshida.
Right to use the license.
Right to use that. Either there is a transfer of right to use the
transfer of sale by transfer of documents of patent. You may, if that particular section 6.2 is not supporting you, you have to go back to the definition section, where again it is saying, if the context requires otherwise, you have give different meaning to it. This is what my justification is, and I am of the firm opinion that even under worst contract there can be a 6 to 6. Next.
Question number 5. Builder developer has applied for registration and VAT CST say in the month of January 13, much late after the date prescribed by the Trade Circular 40T and 80T of 2012 issued by the Honorable Commissioner. He has filed all the returns paid VAT dues at 5%, 1% as per the provisions of law. He has also paid interest as applicable as well as 0.5% compounding fees as prescribed by the Trade Circular. He has applied for ADM relief for the year 6-7, 13. Can Joint Commissioner registration still reject ADM relief, and by virtue of that benefit of 1% from 1 to 10 as well as set off in respect of purchases due or 5% from the scheme be denied? If yes, what will be the consequences as well as remedy? But according to me, Joint Commissioner, normally ADM relief is a government resolution and power is given to Commissioner to interpret it, etc. So first circular came, if within 5 years it is applied, it will not be considered a case of evasion and ADM relief will be granted subject to payment of promotion money. Now 6-7, so it is going beyond 5 years. In March 2012, 5 years ended, so it is beyond that. And he is losing benefit of circulars because he has not applied up to the October, which was the given deadline. But there is also one more circular, I have just not got it, but in 2011 they have come out with circular saying that 5 years is relaxable subject to acceptance of the case. I think it's a fit case to fit into that circular, and you can insist upon Joint Commissioner that it should be given to him also. The circular saying that 5 years will not be remain static, it can be flexible. No, clear circular. Subject to satisfied that there was reasonable cause for delay. Now we can definitely explain that he has remained because of whatever misunderstanding or court cases going on, etc. But since he has otherwise complied substantially, he should be entitled. Question number 6. Why notification number of VAT dated 1/1/2014 following class of dealer is being exempted from payment of late fees? Now they have given that category 7. That is a builder's case. Does it mean that even builder developers who has taken registration number under VAT CST in the month of say January 13 will become eligible for non-payment of late fees for the period mentioned above? According to me, not in this clause, but he can take benefit of category, first category in that notification, dealer who have obtained new registration. Now in that case also, till the grant of registration or is getting activity, is inactive on the website, all the other returns, prior returns are exempted from late fees. So he can take benefit of that, subject to his filed returns accordingly within January return or March return, 13 return within the time of that quarter, etc. And he has not paid that late fee still good. If he is complying with these two conditions, I think he should take benefit of category 1 as a new dealer registered under, not liable for URD returns.
7. It's a very long query. The sum and substance is entry tax. You see, entry tax has a very long history. There was a larger bench decision in Jindal, that is 145 STC 544, wherein the larger bench of Supreme Court says that there is a distinction between the tax and the fee. The entry tax is a compensatory tax. If it is a compensatory tax, then it must give some benefit, then only it is valid. With that direction, the matter was remanded to the bench which is referred. Now what is the outcome? The outcome is entry tax today also can be challenged as invalid by saying that this is not giving any special benefit to the trader. But presuming it is valid piece of law, then in Jindal only, the state governments agreed that yes, we will not go for double taxation and we will give them input tax credit or set off demanded. We, under the VAT, we have this set-off also, 52, it gives a set-off, but it starts with subject to condition and restriction as the state government may give to all the other set-off also. Now 55(6) rule